She won't say it, but her body already did. Have you ever looked back and realized she was into you, but you didn't know until it was too late? That smile, the way she tilted her head, leaned in closer, touched her neck, touched you, and you brushed it off as nothing. You thought she was just being polite. You didn't recognize the signal. That's not your fault. That's how men are trained to fail. But after this video, you'll never miss that sign again. Ever. This is a wake-up call. You've been blind by design. Everything you've been told about attraction, relationships, women, has been a half-truth at best, a weapon against your instincts at worst. And today that changes. Right now, we decode every micro-movement, every unconscious cue women show when they want you. But it's not just about women. It's about you, the man, the aware, the decisive, the silent observer who knows, sees, and acts with clarity. This is a skill. This is a power. This is Stoicism in practice. And by the end, it won't just change how you view women. It will change how you walk through the world. Before we go deeper, comment this phrase below. I see now. Number 1. Words lie. Biology doesn't. Most men spend their entire lives reacting to lies. Lies from the world, lies from others, and worst of all, lies they've told themselves. That if they just say the right things, act the right way, maybe one day they'll be chosen. But let me rip the veil off now. Words are the least reliable currency in the dance between men and women. She will say she isn't ready. She will say you're just a friend. She will tell you you're amazing and still walk into another man's bed, because what she says doesn't reflect her internal world. It reflects what's socially acceptable. And for men who want clarity, this is hell. But the truth lies elsewhere, not in conversations but in observation. Her body tells the truth. Her alignment, the energy she radiates, the physical distance she closes, the way she checks herself when you're near, all of it is data. Have you ever walked into a room and without a single word known someone was watching you? You felt it, didn't you? That awareness wasn't fantasy. That's your instinct. That's the part of you that still knows. But we bury it, suppress it, call it wrong. It's not. It's your gift. It's what makes you different from the men who keep falling for empty words and ignoring what's loudest in her actions. To begin this path, you don't need charm, you need presence. That means noticing instead of needing. It means walking slower, breathing deeper, watching what changes when you enter. Start with your next social event. Walk in, say nothing, just look. Who aligns their feet toward you? Who adjusts their clothing? Who breaks their attention from the group and glances at you, even for a second? That's where truth lives. Stop talking so much. Start listening with your eyes. Because if you continue believing in what women say without decoding what they show, you'll stay confused, disappointed, and resentful. And none of that is power. Power is knowing without needing permission. Power is presence. Power is attention. Not to her lips, but to her stance, her lean, her breath when you get near. Power is reading the page she doesn't know she's writing. When you master this, you won't chase anymore. You won't wait for a yes. You'll already know. And knowing is what separates the man who watches from the man who is watched. Most men spend their entire lives reacting to lies. Number 2. The eyes always expose her. Her eyes will always betray her. No matter how well she plays the game, how careful her words, how composed her posture, her gaze gives her away. And if you're not looking for it, if you're not tuned into the signals embedded in her glance, you'll miss it all. You'll see a smile, maybe a laugh, and think it meant nothing. But the eyes never lie. Imagine you're across the room, and for a split second, her gaze lingers on yours just a little too long. You catch it. She looks away. But then it happens again. And again. That's not accident. That's gravity. And the men who see this, who understand what it means, they walk differently. They don't chase. They don't ask. They move. Have you ever had a conversation where you felt pulled into someone, like the space between you no longer existed? That's what happens when she's into you. Her pupils widen, not from lighting, but from connection. Her eyes drop to your mouth, not because you're mumbling, but because she's imagining what it might be like to feel it. She'll flick her eyes back up and smile, but only if she thinks you're ready, because attraction seeks recognition. And if you're numb, if you're looking at your phone, if you're worried about the next thing to say, you'll miss it. The way to start seeing this is simple. Practice presence. The next time you speak with a woman, stop trying to impress. Start paying attention. Watch how often her eyes return to yours. Track how long they stay. Notice when she looks down, then back up. Train your awareness like a skill, because that's what it is. Awareness is your edge. It's what separates the man lost in guessing from the man who sees and acts with clarity. And when you finally see her eyes widen at your presence, when her gaze locks just a little too long, and when she holds that stare hoping you'll understand, it'll click. You won't need her words. You'll already know. That's vision. That's truth. That's the path few walk, but the one that leads to everything. Her eyes will always betray her, and once you know how to see it, you'll never be uncertain again. Because you'll have learned to listen through touch, through tone, through eyes that speak truths no words can match. And now, you'll never have to walk blind again. That's exactly why I created the Stoic Relationship Blueprint, the field manual for every man who's tired of confusion, misreads, and regret. This isn't just another book. It's your compass, your clarity, your code for relationships rooted in reality, not fantasy. The link is pinned in the comments. Once it's yours forever. No monthly fees, no limits. Just timeless, life-changing insight that will sit in your corner, ready whenever you need to see clearly again. Don't overthink. Don't delay. If your gut is telling you this is for you, it is. Own it. Number 3. Posture points to desire. The way she moves around you is never random. Her body tells the story her words won't. And if you're not watching closely, you'll miss everything that matters. Posture reveals intention. Orientation reveals desire. She doesn't need to speak to be screaming with her body. Have you ever noticed how some women, when you enter the room, straighten their backs, uncross their legs, and reposition themselves as if they suddenly remembered to look their best? That's not chance. It's instinct. It's how attraction leaks into reality. Imagine you walk into a cafe and she's sitting with friends. She was laughing, relaxed, casual. But the moment she sees you, her spine lifts, her chest subtly pushes forward, and her legs realign. Now her knees point toward where you're walking. She starts playing with her jewelry. Her phone disappears, her friends blur out, and her torso shifts in your direction even if her eyes pretend not to notice you. This is not coincidence. It's response. Her body recognizes something her mouth may never admit, because while language is filtered, posture is raw. It's the purest display of interest, the kind that bypasses conscious control. You must learn to read these responses like a language built not on vocabulary, but on alignment and presence. She will lean toward what she desires. Her toes will point where she wants to go. Her hips will orient themselves toward who she wants to engage. These aren't tips from a magazine. These are biological codes passed through generations. It's survival, selection, connection. The next time you're out, anywhere, look at how women stand near you. Are they closed off? Do they create barriers with crossed arms or bags? Or do they open space between you, creating lanes for conversation and connection? Watch for how often they reset their stance. Do they adjust their posture when you move closer? Do they fidget, reposition, or reorient as you speak? These are tells. They're reactions from a nervous system activated by interest. Begin practicing this by sitting still in a social setting and watching how many women keep adjusting their positioning as they become aware of you. Watch the subtle chest adjustments, the hair tucks, the shifts in shoulder placement. It's everywhere once you learn to see. You do not need to confront, ask, or guess. You need to observe. Make this your strength, stillness with sight. Let her body tell the truth, and let your awareness translate it. This is how you separate yourself from the man who watches her mouth, from the man who watches her entire being. She wants you to see, not what she says, what she shows. Her posture tells you exactly what's behind the curtain, but only if you're trained to notice. Number 4. Touch is never accidental. Touch is never meaningless, not when she's drawn to you. It's never just a brush, never just a tap, never just a casual excuse. When she's attracted, her hands speak louder than her lips ever will. Have you ever had a woman touch your arm while laughing? Maybe it felt small, quick, nothing out of the ordinary. But did you notice if it happened again and again? Women who want to be near you find ways to reach out, through space, through gesture, through excuses. That accidental bump in the hallway, the lingering hand as she passes your drink, the brief but deliberate contact with your lower back as she walks by. That's not habit, that's signal. She's not clumsy, she's curious. Touch is how she tests. She gauges how you react. Do you lean in? Do you pull back? Do you pretend it didn't happen? Every touch is data, every gesture a probe. But it starts before she ever touches you. It starts when she touches herself in your presence, playing with her hair, running fingers across her wrist, caressing her collarbone, or adjusting her neckline when there's no reason to. These are not nervous habits. These are invitations masked as comfort. Imagine sitting beside her on a couch. You say something funny. She laughs, and her hand finds your arm. Just a moment. But as the night goes on, she does it again, more boldly. Now it's your knee, then your shoulder, then a light push during a joke. This progression is not accidental. It's calculated. She's signaling comfort, attraction, readiness. But you need to recognize it and respond, not with words, but with calibrated awareness. To develop this, start small. In your next conversation, simply pay attention to where her hands go. How often do they land on you? How often do they fidget around herself? How often do they rest where they don't need to? Practice noticing, not interpreting. Just see. Don't flinch. Don't overreact. Stay centered. Women touch what they want closer. And when she starts reaching across distance, shortening space between your bodies with her fingers, her palms, her subtle gestures, know that it's more than proximity. It's permission. And when you begin to read touch like truth, everything changes. You stop second-guessing. You stop waiting for verbal signs. You recognize that interest is rarely announced, but always shown. And once you know how to see it, you'll never be uncertain again, because you'll have learned through touch. Number 5. Voice tone changes with lust. The sound of her voice changes when she's drawn to you, and most men never notice. They hear the words but not the rhythm. They catch the content but miss the emotion, the shift in pitch, the breath between phrases that says far more than the sentence itself ever could. Her tone will soften, her pace will slow, her laughter will linger longer than it needs to. And it's not just because she's polite, it's because she's pulled in. Attraction creates this magnetic distortion in the way she speaks. You don't need a microphone to pick it up. You need presence. You need the ears of a man who listens beyond logic. Have you ever been on a call with a woman and noticed that her voice dropped lower the longer you spoke? That she began drawing out her words just slightly more than usual? That her goodbye felt heavy, not rushed? These aren't technicalities. These are windows. Imagine her voice as a current, subtle but strong. If you follow the flow, you'll know exactly where she wants it to go. In person, it's even clearer. Her voice gets warmer, not in content, but in cadence. She stops interrupting. She waits. She responds with measured grace, not because she's careful, but because she's focused. You. Her voice shapes around your presence. The more attraction builds, the more audible the difference becomes. Now look at how you can sharpen this awareness. Next time you talk to her, drop your voice slightly lower. Speak slower. Pause longer between sentences. Watch how she mirrors the pace. If she's into you, she'll begin sinking, not because she wants to, but because her desire is tuning her into your rhythm. She'll match the beat without knowing it. This is not game. This is resonance. It's what animals do when they're drawn to something. They don't question it. They reflect it. Don't let this pass by. Listen to her laugh. Is it fast and polite? Or does it rise up from her chest and stretch across seconds? Is her voice sharp and quick, or smooth, dragged out, pulling you in? That's your cue. And once you learn to identify that change, you won't need affirmations. You'll hear the difference, and you'll move accordingly. Speak less, listen more. She's not telling you with logic, she's revealing with vibration. Train your ear, and you'll hear what she's trying not to say. Number 6. Proximity is a powerful signal. Where she places her body in relation to yours is the most honest indicator of how she feels. Because space doesn't lie. Proximity is the proof. If she wants distance, she keeps it. If she wants closeness, she closes it. And if you miss this, you'll miss everything else. Have you ever stood in a room and felt someone inch closer? Not obviously, not directly, but gradually, just enough that you notice they're within your range without invitation. That's what it feels like when she wants to be near. She'll find reasons to stand beside you. She'll pretend the only seat left is next to yours. She'll walk slower if you're behind her. She's pulling herself into your orbit, not for safety, not for small talk, but because she wants the experience of being near. Imagine a group conversation where she keeps ending up closer to you, even though she started on the opposite side. That's a sign. Watch her body language when someone else tries to get between you. Does she stay where she is, or does she reclose the gap? These moments aren't random. They're signals coded into positioning. She's not navigating furniture. She's navigating desire. Men who notice this can navigate the whole interaction with clarity. You no longer have to chase or assume. Just notice who stands in your field and how long they stay there. Do they shift toward you when you speak? Do they wait beside you after the group disperses? If she places herself beside you in a quiet room and doesn't leave, she's chosen her position for a reason. Start tuning into space like it's communication. Practice observing in public. Who walks near you when there are plenty of other paths? Who stands within arm's reach when there's plenty of room? Who aligns shoulder to shoulder in lines, waiting areas, crowded events? These choices aren't accidental. They're expressions. Once you master proximity as a language, you'll never have to question intention. You'll feel it. She closes space with the man who moves her. And when she does, let that awareness guide your next move. Stand tall. Say little. Let your stillness invite more space to collapse. Let your awareness do what most ignore. Feel the energy shift when closeness becomes a question she hopes you'll answer. Number 7. Why most men stay blind. The painful truth is that most men will never see, not because they can't, but because they've been trained not to. Since they were boys, they were told to listen to words, not watch for truth. They were taught that being good, respectful, and patient would eventually make them chosen. And so they wait and wait, and waste time believing in signals that never meant anything. The reason most men stay blind is because the truth is uncomfortable. It means admitting that everything they've believed about connection, love, attention, was based on fantasy, that women don't operate the way they were told. Have you ever looked back on a situation and realized you saw the signs, you felt the energy, but you convinced yourself it wasn't real? That's blindness, not a lack of vision, but a refusal to accept what your body knew before your brain talked you out of it. And the system thrives on this blindness. It teaches men to be deaf to instinct. It rewards them for second-guessing. It applauds them for asking permission instead of acting from certainty. Imagine walking through your entire life, never knowing who actually wanted you, never noticing who stood closer, leaned in, opened space for you to lead, because you were too distracted waiting for words. The men who break this blindness don't do it because someone gave them a handbook. They do it because they reach a breaking point, a moment when being ignored, friend-zoned, cheated on, or used finally feels worse than the pain of waking up. That moment creates fire, and in that fire, they begin to see. Start today by owning one small truth. Your gut is more accurate than the advice you were fed. If a woman is drawn to you, you'll feel it. Not in your head, but in your core. Learn to trust that again. Practice in everyday interactions. Walk into a room and ask yourself, not who's smiling at me, but who shifted their body when I arrived? Who adjusted themselves, leaned toward me, reacted to my presence with alignment? Rewire yourself to prioritize what's shown, not what's spoken. Build your instincts by keeping score of reality. She who speaks often says nothing. She who signals without words tells you everything. Train for this like your life depends on it, because your direction, time, energy, and focus absolutely do. You've been told to wait for her words, to be nice, to stay hopeful, and it's cost you years, no more. You don't need another rejection to learn. You need truth. And that's exactly what the Stoic relationship blueprint was built for, to end the cycle of guessing, chasing, and being left wondering what went wrong. It's not just a guide, it's a weapon, a blueprint to reclaim your clarity, your time, and your power. It's linked in the comments right now. Own it once, keep it forever. No games, just everything she never wanted you to understand. If you're ready to never look at women, attraction, or yourself the same way again, comment the Stoic Blueprint below. Like this video. Subscribe, because every time this gets shared, another man wakes up, another man gets to see, and another life gets saved from regret.